Greetings, Mthwakazi, people all over the world. You may be in Mthwakazi, you may be abroad. Welcome to today's program, whereby I'll be mainly focusing on discussing the issues of local governance. Yesterday I said a bit about the challenges that we are currently facing, especially as Mthwakazi people, and I was posing a lot of rhetoric questions regarding quite a few issues that our people are experiencing as challenges. Let me also highlight that I will be using English as a medium of communication, so that our message could be spread across all our societies. Let us remember that we are a diverse society. Let us remember that our society comprises of a lot of tribes. We have about more than 15 tribes residing in Mthwakazi, and those tribes being the citizens of Mthwakazi. As such, a normal political party which caters for the interest of all tribal groups in Mthwakazi must ensure that we use at least the language that is understood by us all. We will ensure, and I hope I won't be distracted. I'm sorry about that sound. We hope today God will guide us throughout this live broadcast, because yesterday, in the midst of a broadcast, all of a sudden we were cut off. Thank God today we are live, we are back. MDA is on fire, and MDA is here to serve its people. We are here to serve our people. We are here because we belong in Mthwakazi. As Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, we have refused to just sit and complain, but we are coming in full force to occupy the political space in order to solve the challenges that are affecting the land of Mthwakazi. Yesterday, as I indicated earlier, I posed quite a number of questions as to when some of us have we ever experienced a time whereby you expected an ambulance to come on time and that ambulance came on time. When did some of us experience a scenario whereby you walk within the streets, within the cities of Mthwakazi, and you walk in a clean environment, you don't see litter lying around? When, as a society, have we actually completed a year without facing issues of waterborne diseases, without facing challenges of lack of clean and safe water? When have we ever experienced a life whereby, as Mthwakazi people, we live without fear? We feel safe, we feel belonging, we feel proud of who we are, we feel proud of our land. When did we last experience a scenario whereby youths could be seen going to recreational facilities, skill-based learning institutions? When did we last saw parents within Mthwakazi not struggling to educate their children? We have a lot of our people without documents, private documents, which is their fundamental right to have those particular documents. We have people in Mthwakazi without birth certificates. We have people in Mthwakazi without national identity documents, something that should be given to everyone who resides within Mthwakazi. We have medical facilities, especially primary health care medical facilities, without medicines. We are experiencing rural district councils and urban councils whereby employment is based on partisan, which party you belong, who is the councillor of that particular rural district council or of that particular urban council. There is a lot of corruption. In order for you to access job, your merits are not considered. What is considered is which political party do you belong to. It is a very, very painful scenario. We have people who are promising us change, practicing such kind of ethics. I know this, it has been happening, and I'm sure maybe even now it is still happening. MDC was once employing members of its political parties to clean the streets. If you were not a member, you were not employed. And I'm sure whoever is being employed in councils where there is MDC, such ethics are practiced. ZANU-PF is doing the same thing. You see. So we can't, I've always said that as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, any party that is competing with us, because we're a political party, whether ZANU-PF, whether MDC, or whichever party which maybe got less than 0.0% votes, as long as they practice something that is unethical, we will always talk about those issues. So we have a challenge, especially regarding issues of local governance, which is key to each and every society, because a developing society must have a strong local government officials, must have strong bylaws, be it city bylaws or rural district bylaws. And it should not only end there, it must also have people who are men and women of integrity, people who does not associate themselves with corruption or corrupt tendencies, people with the people at heart, with their societies at heart. These are the officials that we need. These are the councillors that we need. Councillors that doesn't come drunk on council chambers. Councillors that respect the local knowledge systems. Councillors that respect local languages, local cultures, and local belief systems. And above all, councillors that are born and bred within Mthwakazi. It's high time we demand such councillors. A lot of our councils are administered by people who are not locals, by people who are coming from other provinces. And that is why we have been seeing a lot of corruption, a lot of revenue that is supposed to be channeled towards development have just disappeared. We have seen councillors dishing stands to each other. This is the case. This is what is happening in Mthwakazi. This is what is experienced in Mthwakazi. And as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, we are saying enough is enough. We are saying it is time for change. We have cities with potholes. There are potholes wherever you go. We have cities without traffic lights. Just imagine, without robots. And you expect you expect people to drive without causing accidents in such kinds of roads. You expect accidents not to be the order of the day with such kind of infrastructure. We have councillors who are approving houses, a lot of houses to be built, but which is good also, which is good, but they are not doing anything to ensure that the cities have enough and sufficient water, which is a key resource. Water is actually life. It is a right. It is a right for all the communities of Mthwakazi to have access to clean, adequate water. To have clean and adequate water. All of us deserve that. You see, we have cities run by both ZANU-PF and MDC, which look like rural areas, especially when you know what urban area, what an urban area should be like. Especially if you know the real definition of what an urban area should be like. The cities that we have were created by the regime of Ian Smith. Even today, we still have the same infrastructure. We are even failing to renovate that infrastructure. We are even failing to paint the buildings of our cities. This is the kind of the environment that is experienced by our people. Yet every 5 years, we elect new councillors. And the question may be asked, why do we have councillors if our cities are like that? I've heard yesterday, I think I stressed that point, and I need to continue talking about it. I need to repeat it so that we all of us understand the importance of not neglecting political participation. We have a lot of our people who are not participating in politics, and they expect things to be done. They expect things to be fixed. Who will fix things for you if you are not participating in politics? Hey, politics is dead. Who is going to make it clean if you are running away from politics? If we are not participating, it is important for us as a Mthwakazi political party to participate in elections. By the way, you are not a political party if you are not participating in elections. Yes, some may say, but who is organizing those elections? That doesn't matter. What matters is that we ensure that local authorities are controlled by our people. You see, if we control local councils or rural district councils, we will be able to champion local development. Because councillors have a very key and a fundamental role. They create the municipal bylaws, rural district council bylaws. They register companies. They determine taxes to be paid. You see, they issue what we call development permits. They issue health-related certificates. You're getting the sense? They are actually collecting a lot of local revenue, which, if administered by the local people with the capacity, with the spirit of Ubuntu, with the right mindset, our cities can no longer be what it is now. Just imagine if you walk around Bulawayo, everyone is selling everywhere, but we have city council officials, we elected councillors. I know people are surviving through vending, and I must emphasize this point and explain it clearly. A lot of our people are surviving through vending, but vending must not compromise the health and safety of the people. People must practice their vending in a clean environment, in a properly allocated environment. And it is very important to work with such kind of people, to create local business people, because all these big companies that you saw, they had to start somewhere. So vending is important, but however, it has to be regulated. And it has to be regulated in the interest of the vendors as well as the customers who are buying from those vendors. We can't have everybody selling anyway and expect to have a clean city. We can't have people selling meat in a place whereby people are also urinating. And in the process, people are just buying that meat. That meat is, you see, is not safe for human consumption. At the end of the day, we will have diseases like cholera. This all boils down to local authorities, the kind of councillors you are employing as Mthwakazi people. I'm sure a lot of us, if we are walking around the streets of Bulawayo, if you have been in Bulawayo recently, you will cry. Especially if you are exposed to other cities, especially in developing countries, in those countries that are really developing, and in developed countries with better infrastructure. It is us with the power, it is us with the capacity to solve this problem. This problem need no one other than us. It is our problem as Mthwakazi people, and it is high time we stand up to solve the problems that are affecting our people. We have neglected recreational facilities. Yesterday I talked about this point a little bit. Neglected recreational facilities, our stadiums, you know, mostly the Barberfield stadiums, the White City Stadium, which is there, which we inherited, and we never improved it. We never built more stadiums because of the caliber of the councillors we are electing as officials to administer our day-to-day needs. Councillors are very crucial. Councillors are very fundamental. Whichever councillor you decide to elect will determine whether you will access part of the services that I have just highlighted. We have clinics without medical doctors. They just have nurses. So the nurse will just take your temperature. If the matter is serious, that nurse is not qualified to handle that particular matter. You will be referred to a hospital which has a lot of patients, because this government doesn't care about people. This government doesn't care about improving the health sector. This is why when they have serious medical issues, be it the members of the opposition MDC who have councillors, especially in Mthwakazi, or ZANU-PF, which also runs the country, when their officials are sick, they run to other countries. And we see that normal. We see those people normal. Who doesn't trust in what they have developed, who doesn't trust in what they have offered us. They don't trust the medical facilities because they know they have not developed those medical facilities. Fellow Mthwakazi people, it is very important as Mthwakazians, it is very fundamental as Mthwakazi people to prioritize local governance issues. How do you prioritize those issues? By ensuring that when election time comes, you vote for local people. You see, you can't vote for someone who is coming somewhere and expect to solve your problems. You can't vote for a fellow who is clueless about the problems of Mthwakazi, who will always come drunk into the council chambers, who disrespects our people. This was the highest form of disrespect. We have seen MDC doing that. Having councillors who are arrogant. So our situation is chaotic. Our situation is chaotic. When there are no recreational facilities, what does it mean to our youth? When there are no skills development centers, what does it mean to our youth? A lot of our youth will end up creating their own entertainment, which endanger their lives, which put their lives at risk. That is why we have got a lot of teenage pregnancies, because youth end up resorting to doing unsafe and premature sex, so that as a form of entertainment, because there are no recreational facilities, there are no swimming pools. The swimming pools that were developed by Ian Smith, we have destroyed them, and they are just islands. The council is doing nothing, at least to privatize them. Privatize them. Give them to people who are capable to run them, so that our people doesn't require free things per se. They don't require free recreational facilities. What they need is adequate recreational facilities so that they can pay at least to entertain themselves, especially in a stressful country like Mthwakazi. Because we are ruled by force, we are ruled by the people we didn't elect, we are ruled by the people we don't like. We are ruled by people who does not put our interest first. We are ruled by people who are very arrogant. We are ruled by gukurahundi, people without a heart. So I have been talking about the challenges that we are facing as Mthwakazi people. There are quite a number. And I know someone will ask me, what is your solution? What is it that MDA wishes to offer if its people grant MDA the responsibility to take over the rural and district councils of Mthwakazi? Because we will field candidates in all rural district councils as well as urban areas. We will field candidates, and our people in the selection process, they must ensure that they put candidates with a good track record, people who are administrators, people with the interest of the people at heart, men and women of integrity, stewards. These are the kind of leaders we want. The servants, the people who will always work with our communities, the people who will always interact with our communities, the people who will always value our communities. So, first, what is it that MDA offers? We want to introduce what we call community-grounded municipal bylaws. The bylaws that will be created in consultation with our people. And we will not only stop there. We will also ensure that the community radio stations in Mthwakazi make our people to be aware of their bylaws that they would have created. If people decide which laws should govern them, it will be easier for them to follow those laws. But if the laws are imposed to the people, those laws will be foreign and they will always be violated. So it's high time now we have a politics whereby our people participate in crucial and key decision making. So our people should be in a position to participate in decision making. They should decide their laws. We don't want to be a party like ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF in 2013, people voted for a constitution. They said the judges must not be appointed by the president. The judges must be interviewed and be selected based on merits. Mnangagwa came in and changed the laws that were inclusively crafted by people. You see the arrogance of this government that is ruling us. And we don't need such rulers. We don't need such leaders. We need leaders that will listen to us as communities. Craft laws that are grounded on the aspirations of our communities in diversity. Listen, I've never lived at Beitbridge. I never grew up in Beitbridge. As such, I don't have a right to go to be deployed at Beitbridge to be a councillor there. We need a local vendor council because that community is dominated by vendor people, even though there are other tribes, whatever, in the name of building metropolitan cities or whatsoever. But the indigenous people are vendor people. Those are the people who are supposed to occupy positions of being councillors. Not a fellow from Nkai coming to be a councillor at Beitbridge. Because if I say not a fellow from Mashonaland coming to be a councillor in Bulawayo, people will talk of tribalism. But that is not tribalism. That is not tribalism. When people are saying we are supposed to be ruled, we are supposed to be administered by local people, just imagine going to a police station full of Shona people who doesn't understand the local language, who are arrogant. When you go there, you tell them, no, I can't understand Shona language because I grew up in Matebeleland, in rural Matebeleland. The language I was exposed to is Ndebele language, and I want to be saved in Ndebele language. They tell you we don't understand Ndebele language. Is this the society we want? Is this the country we want? Is this the kind of police officers we want? Absolutely no. We don't need such officers. Just imagine going to report a matter of your child being raped to a police officer who doesn't understand your language. And then you are hurt inside. You are not healthy emotionally. You go approaching that police officer wishing to be helped. and that police officer tells you he can't understand you. Just imagine attending a court whereby the magistrate doesn't understand the local language. You see? And we have interpreters. Sometimes those interpreters are not even local interpreters. The Ndebele is not that good. And sometimes when they are interpreting issues, they don't interpret those issues properly. That is why our people voted for the devolution of power. I mean, that is why our people advocated for the devolution of power. When the 2013 constitution was crafted, why did they do that? They understood the importance of being ruled by local leaders with capacity. They understood the consequences that they have been experiencing as a result of the implementation of the 1979 Grand Plan, which says soldiers, which says police officers, which says bank officers, and all people who are supposed to occupy key positions must be Shona people. This is what those who are talking about tribalism should stand up and condemn that as tribalism, because that is real tribalism. Real tribalism, we are talking about a government, a state that is trained a specific tribe to go and kill other tribes in Mthwakazi. The people who implemented gukurahundi, that is tribalism. When I say gukurahundi must be dealt with, then I'm labeled as a tribalist. What kind of a society are we living in? What kind of a government are we living in? Is that tribalism? When I say local people must be leaders in their areas, then someone says, no, we are few. Where have you ever seen us few in Mthwakazi? Where have you ever seen us few in Matebeleland? I stand to be corrected. Let me highlight this. You see these statistics that we are given. For example, the last census that was done in Zimbabwe, I was never counted. I was living in Bulawayo. I was never counted. How many people were never counted? You see? And who is issuing the statistics? Who are the people who are dealing with the statistics? It's the CIOs. You see? What has ZANU-PF done to create that mentality that the people of Matebeleland are few? You see, they made sure that they play with your mind. They made sure that they corrupt your mind to think that the people of Matebeleland are few. And I know and I'm highly convinced that we are not few in Matebeleland. We were never few. And in fact, Matebeleland is bigger than Mashonaland. You see, the people who have read the 1979 Grand Plan, part of the achievements, part of the aims of the 1979 Grand Plan was to create that notion that as Mthwakazi people, we are not capable to be leaders. As Mthwakazi people, we are few. They say they will dilute us. They will dilute us. And they are doing that. They are putting key. They are making sure that key positions. Just imagine Matebeleland South, Matebeleland North, all our provinces, districts, key positions are occupied by people from Mashonaland. Are our people not educated? That's a lie. So I was explaining that we are not few, and I will make that point very clear, and I will explain that point before I go further on what we want to do in local government. We have a lot. If I cannot finish it today, I will share it some other time. You see, what they did, our land in Mthwakazi is more than of Mashonaland. They ensured that in Matebeleland they will demarcate large constituencies. you see. And in Mashonaland, they create a lot of small fragmented constituencies. And what do? They rig elections. When they rig elections, they inflate figures from Mashonaland and deflect figures from Matabeleland. The geographical space of Matabeleland is larger than that of Mashonaland. Yes, it is larger than that of Mashonaland. But what did they do? For example, a constituency, a ward constituency in Mthwakazi, maybe in Mashonaland, that constituency in terms of geographical demarcation, they can be 5 or more wards. Go do that research. That's why they made it a point that in Mthwakazi there will be few constituencies. There are very few constituencies. As much as it makes sense administratively, if they were doing that out of a good heart, out of faithfulness, following the principles of good governance, it was gonna be a good issue. But what was meant is purely based on dominance. They wanted to dominate us. They wanted to defeat us mentally. Those people who are saying we are few in Mthwakazi, they have been defeated mentally. Those people who are saying we can't be leaders in Mthwakazi, they have been defeated mentally. Those people who are saying we are not going to vote in Mthwakazi, they have been defeated psychologically by the 1979 Grand Plan. And we must refuse as Mthwakazi people to be defeated by the plan of the devil, the 1979 Grand Plan. So we are not few. I think I will have time to specifically talk about these issues, provide a lot of evidence around that matter. And I've heard, I don't have a low self-esteem. I believe in myself. I know that we are not few. I know that we are many. I know that we are capable. We are a capable society. I know that very well. I'm sorry about that. So, as Mthwakazi people, we must be wise. We must be very, very wise. We must never subscribe to the 1979 Grand Plan. So, what do we wish to do as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance? We want to fight the issues of red tape. We want to fight red tape. We want to fight the issues of maladministration. There is a lot of red tape in our councils. If, for example, a company wants a development permit, they say it should take around 1.5 months, but that process takes more than 6 months. Why does it take all those months? No one knows. And you expect the city to attract investors. You are chasing away investors. So as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, we will ensure that if someone is applying for a health certificate, that process is done so easily. It can even be done online, so fast and easy. Those people who are meant to sign documents do so very quick and fast. These days there is technology. You see, we must make use of technology. We must make good use of technology to deliver services to our people. It mustn't be difficult to run a business in Mthwakazi. You see, with this government, it is very difficult to run a company. It is very difficult to run a school. You have to have a development permit. That process takes very long. You have to have a health certificate. That process takes very long. You have to be paying taxes. There are so many institutions that you pay huge sums of money. We will reduce those monies that are paid by a company so that we attract more companies. and will generate a lot of revenue, rather than milking those few companies too much, depressing them and chasing them away, destroying them one by one. So we must introduce an efficient and a very, very effective administration in all the local government institutions. And we will supervise all our stakeholders to ensure that they offer good and quality services to our people. The Zimbabwean constitution says it is a right. It has good bill of rights. I will encourage you to go and read those bill of rights. It tackles the issues of administration very, very effective and efficient. But what we do, we elect novices who create contradictory acts of parliament or contradictory municipal or rural district council bylaws. You see, laws should not work against the people. Laws should make the lives of people to be easier. You see, our people should not queue to pay for water bills. Our people should not queue to pay for any bill. The government should make it very, very easier for our people to pay their bills. But you struggle to pay your bill, you struggle to receive an effective and efficient service. This is the kind of the government we are exposed to. These are the councillors that are treating us that way. So it is very, very important. As I'm speaking now, there is a very, very painful matter. We know, maybe some of you might know, some of you don't know, the issue of Macheche mine. A lot of miners, more than 10 miners were buried there. Up to today, those miners are still underground. There were no efforts to rescue them. A lot of local laws as well as national laws were violated because it happened in Mthwakazi, because it happened in Matabeleland, because it happened in people who are the second or third class citizens in Zimbabwe. We even, to make matters worse, other political parties just went there, took some pictures, campaigned with that issue. Us, we did not do that. We went, I remember, I sent our Secretary for Communication and Public Relations to go and investigate the matter, accompanied by the Security Department of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. And they unearthed all the details, the irregularities that were done. We filed an urgent matter to the Bulawayo High Court. And what happened? That judge was not interested in dealing with that matter urgently, and we ended up putting it on roll. Up to today, the matter of the Macheche miners is still at the High Court. The High Court of Zimbabwe is still sitting on that matter because it is the people of Mthwakazi. Just imagine if it were the people of Mashonaland, were they gonna be still sitting on that matter? Because the lives of the people of Mthwakazi doesn't matter. They don't matter. And the Ndebele who dies, it doesn't matter. A Xhosa who dies, it doesn't matter. A Venda who dies, it doesn't matter. It only matters when it comes to the people of Mashonaland. We have seen a lot of companies, we have seen a lot of mines collapsing in Mashonaland. And we have seen the government acting so very fast, even hiring international experts to come and mitigate the situation. But when it comes to Matabeleland people who are viewed as useless, that is not done. These are the issues we are fighting for. as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. These are the inequalities we are fighting for. And when I speak like this, someone says we are speaking tribalism. That's absolutely nonsense. If a mine can collapse in Matabeleland, kill hundreds of, bury hundreds of people underground, the government should neglect it and we should keep quiet. No, we should live in one nation. We are one nation. We are one Zimbabwe. Nonsense. That is absolutely nonsense. I can't respect that. I can't honor that. I can't keep quiet when such injustices are happening in Matabeleland. And we are expected to keep quiet. We will fight it. We will fight it with whatever we have. It's rather they kill us fighting. They will have to kill us fighting. Because this cannot go on. This cannot go on. Listen, in Macheche there, in Macheche Deskodin area, there is a councillor there. There is an MP there. What are they doing? What are they doing? They are just quiet. To them it doesn't matter. To them it doesn't matter at all. The lives of our people are not important. The lives of our people are not important. They are not necessary. They are not prioritized. We were killed during gukurahundi. No commission which has been instituted. The government has actually done nothing to investigate about that matter because they know they are the criminals. But less than 10 people were killed in Mashonaland by the military. An international commission was put in place. It investigated the matter. The report was made public. Where is the Tumbuchena report? Okay. Let me move on. So I've indicated that we will create bylaws that promote local investments, give tenders to our people. Our people are not business people. They are neglected. If you elect us to be councillors, if you elect officials of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance to be councillors, we will ensure that we give tenders to our people, especially where the council cannot deliver. For example, issues of recycling, we can actually generate a revenue by giving tenders to companies that recycle waste. We can even give tenders to companies that will recycle the sewage water. Because that is not done. That is not done by the current councillors. The MTC councillors in Bulawayo, they spend their days pointing fingers at ZANU-PF. And ZANU-PF, they will be pointing fingers at sanctions. Listen, don't be deceived. Ian Smith regime was under sanctions. During the reign of Ian Smith, when he was under sanctions, Zimbabwe produced quality maize. Not only quality maize, but also it produced it excessively. It was appreciated everywhere in the world. What is the current government doing? They chased white people with their racist tendencies, and the sanctions were put on them. And what is happening now? They are busy blaming sanctions. Every election they will talk of sanctions. Every election they will talk of sanctions. It's high time we grow as Mthwakazi people. If you are a Mthwakazi person supporting these political parties, with this knowledge that I have articulated, then somewhere, somehow, there is something wrong about you. There is something amiss. It's high time we actively participate in political activities. We need to build dams. As much as also we'll be offering more houses to our people because it is their right to shelter. Everyone should have a house in Mthwakazi. Everyone should have land. That is why our parents went to the liberation struggle. It was for the purposes of ensuring that there is equal distribution of land. We were not fighting for tribalizing the land or ZANUizing the land, whereby farms in Mthwakazi are given to ZANU-PF members, card-carrying members. If you are not a ZANU-PF card-carrying member, you are not given a farm. We are coming in to stop that. We will fight that with all we have. You see, getting into the councils, it will be a major step towards Mthwakazi restoration. I tell you, it's better, Mthwakazi, to elect people who are local people. It's better to elect people who are local people. They will exercise at least that pride of being Mthwakazi to ensure that our resources benefit us all. Mthwakazi is a very, very, very rich nation. One of the days I will talk about that. I'll talk about that. The issues I said, I will articulate them more. I'll create a specific day, an hour or so, to explain to them so that all of us, we understand them. We need to refurbish our clinics, build more clinics. We need to build new cities. I'm against a scenario whereby you see MDC and ZANU-PF attitude. They have been busy. They want to change the streets of Bulawayo were not even built by them, destroying the history of Bulawayo. We need that colonial history. It is very important. Don't destroy. You see, colonialism affected us. It was very evil, but it's not prudent for you to destroy that history. That history must be taught to generations to come so that they will be able to make informed decisions regarding their future. When they are crafting international policies, when they are dealing with issues of international relations. So there is actually a lot in summation that we can do as Mthwakazi people to develop our communities, because as much as we are marching towards our freedom, it is very important that we march towards our freedom with full stomachs. We march towards our freedom with proper infrastructure. We march towards our freedom with adequate water and sanitation. We march towards our freedom with effective and efficient administration. You can't say, no, let's start by freedom and then we'll talk about administration. That you will raise detectors. Some issues should start at a primary stage. We are where we are because people were thinking, no, the attitudes of the leaders were going to change in the future. They never changed those attitudes. That's why as Africa, we are where we are. That is why as Mthwakazi people, we are where we are. So, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are connecting with me from, or wherever you will connect with me from, when I'm live or after this live broadcast, we have a big role, especially to all Mthwakazians. It's good that we are scattered all over. Let us remember home. Let us remember our home. It is very, very important to remember your home. Just imagine if the 3 million people who are in South Africa from Mthwakazi, more than 3 million people who are in South Africa from Mthwakazi, were just donating R1 towards rebuilding their nation. We'll be having 3 million rands. And what can we do as a society? As Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, let me emphasize that we don't only need election, we need the unity of our people. Even outside government, there is a lot that we can do as Mthwakazi people. Just imagine if we can only unite 100,000 people within Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance contributing 10 rand each. We'll be having 1 million per month. Can't we address the challenges that are bedeviling our land? Mthwakazi, it is high time we think twice. During 2023 local elections, ensure that you choose Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance because it cares for you. Remember to share our videos. Remember to like our pages as you watch this video. Remember to also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can be able to broadcast using that channel. Remember to follow our Instagram pages. Just search Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance and you will see us. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. God bless you. God bless Mthwakazi. God bless Africa. Thank you very much.